Political heat rises in Rajasthan. Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot calls for another cabinet meeting to rework on the governor's proposal, requesting him to convene an assembly session. The governor says no one is above the constitutional ethos. Supreme Court to hear the plea on Monday. India achieves a record number of more than 420,000 COVID tests in a single day. Centre advises all states to keep up its proven and successful strategy of aggressive testing, tracking and treatment to get the positive results. Armed forces gunned down two unidentified terrorists in an encounter in Jammu and Kashmir's Ranbirgarh today. Joint team of police and army have recovered one AK-47 and pistol. Cordon and search operation is underway. India extends humanitarian assistance to the people of North Korea under the aegis of the ongoing WHO's anti-tuberculosis program, sends $1 million worth medicines to treat the disease in the country. The flood situation in Assam and Bihar remains grim, several rivers flowing above the danger mark. NDRF teams deployed in rescue and relief operation. President Ram Nath Kovinds flags off trucks with carrying relief material from Rashtrapati Bhavan to the affected regions in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Assam. Good afternoon, welcome to English News. I am Anil Thomas. Now for the stories in detail, starting first up, heading to Rajasthan. Following a day-long drama by the ruling Congress over the delay in convening the State Assembly session, Rajasthan Governor Kalraj Mishra issued a statement late on Friday night saying that no one is above the constitutional ethos. The statement further stated that there should be no pressure politics of any kind. Posing 6 queries to the state government over its demand to call an emergency assembly session, Governor Mishra said that the communication to call a session at very short notice was presented before him on the night of July 23rd. 6 questions were also posed in the statement. These include the date on which the assembly session is to be convened, which has not been mentioned in the state cabinet note nor has been approved by the cabinet. Instruction giving details on how the session will be called considering the rapid spread of corona in the state. No justification or agenda proposed by the government to call the session at a short notice through a 21-day notice is mandatory to call a session. State government instructed to ensure freedom and free movement of all MLAs. Matter of disqualification of some MLAs under consideration by the High Court and the Supreme Court, which the state government has to take cognizance of. Every action should be taken in accordance with the constitutional decorum and laid down rules. If the state government enjoys a majority, what is the justification for convening the session to seek a confidence vote? Meanwhile, the state cabinet meeting will be held this evening to discuss the political situation in the state, to rework the proposal for the governor, requesting him to convene an assembly session. The proposal to be sent to the governor will also be revised during the meeting. Earlier also, a cabinet meeting was held at the Chief Minister's residence late on Friday night to discuss the points raised by the governor on cabinet's proposal. The Rajasthan cabinet on Thursday forwarded a letter to the governor for calling the session, but he did not take any decision so far. Earlier on Friday, the Rajasthan High Court directed the Speaker of Rajasthan Assembly to maintain status quo on the disqualification notices sent to the 19 rebel MLAs, including Sachin Pilot. With this, the High Court also clarified that the matter of disqualification power of the Speaker is not under the jurisdiction of the court. The court has not given any date for further hearing. On the other hand, the case will be heard in the Supreme Court on Monday. The apex court will decide whether the Speaker can take action against the rebel MLAs of the Congress party. India has achieved a record number of more than 420,000 COVID-19 tests in a single day. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare informed that the record number has come on the heels of 350,000 tests being done every day continuously over the period of last 1 week. Meanwhile, Union government has advised all states to keep up the strategy of aggressive testing, tracking and treatment, which may lead to higher number of daily positive cases, but would eventually achieve a decline, as has been demonstrated after Union government's efforts in Delhi. The total number of patients who recovered from COVID-19 reached around 8.5 lakh mark today. The COVID-19 recovery rate has now improved to 63.53% in the country. According to the Health and Family Welfare Ministry, a total of 8,49,431 people have recovered in the country so far. Presently, the total number of active COVID cases in the country stands at around 4,56,071. Meanwhile, Centre has advised 9 states with high active cases load to ramp up testing with special focus on containment zones and to ensure effective clinical management of COVID-19 cases. The high-level meeting was chaired by Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba with the Chief Secretaries and Health Secretaries of the state of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Odisha, West Bengal and Assam. The meeting was held as part of the coordinated strategy for effective containment and management of the COVID-19 pandemic. In keeping with the test, track, treat strategy, the states were advised to ramp up testing with special focus on containment zones. The states were also advised to have a clear focus on health infrastructure, including requisite number of beds, oxygen, and ventilators with the implementation of clinical protocols, ensuring the prescribed quality of care and seamless patient management. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chouhan has tested positive for COVID-19. In a tweet, Chief Minister said, and I quote, "I had symptoms of COVID-19. In the test report, I was found positive. I appeal to all my colleagues that whoever has come in my contact to get tested for COVID-19. My close contacts should move to quarantine. I am following all the guidelines and will quarantine myself according to the doctor's advice. I appeal to the people of my state to be careful. Just a little carelessness invites corona. I made every effort to avoid corona, but people used to meet me on many subjects. I have been reviewing the status of COVID-19 infections in the state every evening since March 25th. Now, I will try to review the situation through video conferencing as much as possible. In my absence, the meeting to review the COVID-19 situation will be held by Home Minister Narottam Mishra, Urban Development and Administration Minister Bhupendra Singh, Medical Education Minister Bishwas Sarang and Health Minister Prabhu Ram Chaudhary. In the wake of rising COVID-19 cases, weekend lockdowns has been imposed in many states. In the hilly state of Himachal Pradesh, government has announced a lockdown for 2 days in Nahan and Badi Barotiwala Nalagrh in Solan district. The lockdown in Nahan in Sirmaur district will remain in force from July 24th midnight to the 6th am on 27th of July. While in Nalagarh area of Solan district, the lockdown will be from 25th of July midnight to 6 am on 28th of July. Janta curfew has been imposed in Nagpur city today and tomorrow. The decision has been taken in a bid to curb the spread of COVID-19. Essential services continue to remain functional during the weekend Janta curfew. The announcement comes a day after Nagpur district reported 172 new cases of COVID-19. The number of people affected by the virus now stands at 3,465. The press statement issued by the District Information Office says that more than 100 patients have been discharged from the hospitals in the district, taking the number of cured cases, which is now standing at 2,213. Moving to Uttarakhand, the weekend lockdown is also imposed in Dehradun, Udham Singh Nagar, Haridwar and Nainital to curb the spread of COVID-19. As per the guidelines, only the shops selling essential commodities and medical stores would be allowed to remain open for limited hours during the weekend lockdown. Besides construction activities, movement of goods on national highways and state highways are also permitted during the weekend. At present, there are a total of 173 containment zones in Uttarakhand. Among these, 139 are in Haridwar district, followed by 11 in Dehradun, 20 in Udham Singh Nagar and 3 in Uttarkashi district. Moving down south to Kerala, in Kerala, the state government has announced that there will not be another complete lockdown in the state. However, the surveillance will be strengthened. The Chief Minister met the opposition party leaders to discuss the COVID-19 situation in the state. The Chief Minister said an action plan has been devised to tackle the super spread of the virus by adopting a cluster-based approach. Meanwhile, Kerala Cabinet has decided to cancel the assembly session and a special cabinet meeting will be held on Monday where decision will be taken on imposing a complete lockdown in the state. Citing the number of COVID-19 cases that are on a rise, the government earlier announced a triple lockdown in Thiruvananthapuram and the containment areas. Triple lockdown will continue till July 28th. Moving to Bhopal, in Bhopal, 10-day lockdown began from Friday 8 p.m. and will remain in force until 4th of August till 5 a.m. in the morning. All commercial establishments except special services will remain closed. Supply of vegetables and milk and essential services will remain open along with industries. Medical services, government ration shops will also remain open during this particular period of lockdown. There will be a ban on any kind of functions or gathering in Bhopal, and all the religious places will be completely closed during this 10-day period. Transport services to be completely suspended during the lockdown phase. Ministry of External Affairs in a statement said that India has extended medical assistance worth about $1 million to North Korea in response to a request received from the World Health Organization. The MEA further said that India is sensitive to the shortage of medical supply situation in North Korea and decided to grant humanitarian assistance of $1 million in the form of anti-tuberculosis medicines. The assistance is under the aegis of the ongoing World Health Organization anti-tuberculosis program in North Korea. The government, meanwhile, has extended the cap on domestic airfares at the upper and lower levels till November 24th. This is a 3-month extension, as earlier the fare cap will remain in place till August 24th. It has also been decided that domestic flights will remain at the current 45% till November 24th. In May, the Union Minister for Civil Aviation, Hardeep Singh Puri, had said that in the minimum fare for Delhi-Mumbai will be charged at 3,500 and the maximum fare would be 10,000. Ministry of Civil Aviation has extended this for another 3 months. News now from Jammu and Kashmir. 2 terrorists were eliminated in an encounter that broke out at Ranbirgarh in Panzinara area near the outskirts of Srinagar early this morning. Security forces launched a cordon and search operation following specific information about the presence of terrorists there. As the forces were conducting the search, terrorists fired upon them. The forces retaliated, which resulted in a gunfight. Operation has been concluded as of now and the identity of the slain terrorist is being ascertained. A joint team of police personnel and security forces is carrying out the search operation wherein 1 AK-47 and pistol has been recovered. A joint team of police armies launched a cordon and search operation in that particular area. President Ram Nath Kovinds completed 3 years in office today. Under the guidance of President Kovind, Rashtrapati Bhavan achieved many milestones. The president visited 19 states and 4 union territories in the 3-year period of his presidency. Rashtrapati Bhavan is open for public visitors 4 days a week, Thursday to Sunday. However, the Mughal Garden and the public tour of Rashtrapati Bhavan is closed since March 7th and March 13th respectively as a precautionary measure against COVID-19. The Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces paid tributes to martyrs at Chinar Corps War Memorial in Srinagar on Kargil Vijay Divas. He also presented colours of Corps of Army Air Defence at Gopalpur, Odisha. He also presented colours to Army Aviation Corps in Nasik. The President also presented colours to the Indian Naval Academy in Erimala in Kerala. He attended the Army Day, Navy Day and Air Force Day receptions in the past 1 year. The President honoured and interacted with many achievers during the past 1 year. He is considered as everyone's President. On an average, President Kovind has met 20 persons per day, from soldiers to scientists, farmers to firefighters. The President appointed and administered oath of office to the Chief Justice of India. He has also given assent to 48 bills of the Union Government and 22 bills of the state governments. 13 ordinances have also been promulgated by the President during the past 1 year. President Kovind also hosted the 50th Conference of Governors and Lieutenant Governors at Rashtrapati Bhavan. This is the 50th such conference held in Rashtrapati Bhavan and the third conference presided over by President Kovind. President Ram Nath Kovinds, along with the First Lady and other members of the family, joined the fellow citizens and expressed their gratitude towards all those who are safeguarding the health of the nation in spite of the grave risk to them and their families. President Kovind donated his 1 month salary to the PM Cares Fund and has decided to forego 30% of his salary for a year. The Rashtrapati Bhavan has rationalized its expenditure for optimal use of resources. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio tomorrow at 11 a.m. It will be the 67th episode of Prime Minister's monthly radio program. It will be broadcast on the entire network of All India Radio and Doordarshan and also on AIR News website, that's www.newsonair.com, and News on AIR mobile app. It will also be streamlined live on YouTube channels of All India Radio, DD News, PMO and Information and Broadcasting Ministry. In some other news, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will visit Ayodhya this afternoon. The Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister is likely to meet with officials and religious leaders over preparations for the August 5th ceremony that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also scheduled to attend. The groundbreaking ceremony or Bhumi Pujan will be held inside the Ram Janmabhoomi complex. Earlier, Allahabad High Court had cleared the way for the Bhumi Pujan ceremony of Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. The High Court has dismissed a public interest litigation challenging the proposal to lay the foundation stone of the temple on August 5th. Allahabad High Court has also said that it expects Uttar Pradesh state government and the organizers to follow protocols like social distancing to curb the spread of COVID-19 during the ceremony. Moving to news from flood-affected states, 21 NDRF teams are working in Bihar and 16 NDRF teams are operating in Assam for flood relief and rescue operations. 3 teams each of NDRF are working in Saran, Gopalganj and East Champaran districts of Bihar. Apart from this, 1 team each in Katihar, Kishanganj, Araria, Madhubani, Muzaffarpur and Patna are helping the local administration in relief and rescue work. About 10 lakh people are reeling under the impact of flood. Meanwhile, 16 NDRF teams are working in 13 districts of Assam, out of which 4 teams have been deployed in Dhemaji alone. Apart from this, many more teams are being kept in an alert state in both states. The current wave of floods has affected 27 lakh people and washed away houses and livestock. Dhubri, Golpara and Barpeta are among the worst affected areas in Assam. Food poisoning is the most common problem faced by people during monsoon season. Improper food hygiene can affect the digestion. Our correspondent Kiran Bharadwaj spoke to Dr. Siddharth Srivastava about prevention of food poisoning. Let's listen in.
Consuming contaminated and unhygienic food can cause the problem of food poisoning. What are the symptoms of food poisoning and what can be done to prevent this problem? Let's understand from Dr. Siddharth Srivastava. Welcome, Dr. Srivastava.
Thank you.
What are the causes of food poisoning and how does it present?
Food poisoning is characterized by nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. It is caused by germs present in the food. Germs can be bacteria, viruses, or the parasites. The germs enter the food by unhygienic practice of the person who is cooking it, not washing the vegetables and fruits very thoroughly, and not washing the knives and the chopper board on which it's being cut properly.
If a person is suffering from food poisoning, what should be the management?
Even if you have food poisoning, do not worry. Just rehydrate, means drink a lot of fluids and water. Take a small amount of fluid and multiple times. Avoid food which cause aggravation of the symptoms. When you require medical advice is severe diarrhea, high temperature, extremes of age, that is more than 70, less than 10 years of age, and people with special care like pregnant female and person who are on cancer therapy.
What precautions should be followed to prevent food poisoning?
Most important thing is prevention of food poisoning. It can be done with proper hygiene. Wash your hands after going to washroom with soap and water before cooking the food. Wash the food and vegetables very thoroughly, especially if it is being used for salad, because it is not going to be cooked. You are going to eat it raw. Safety precautions are important for food. If you are drinking milk, it should be boiled or pasteurized. If you are eating a non-vegetarian food, it has to be completely thoroughly cooked.
Taking care of hand hygiene and food hygiene will help to prevent the problem of food poisoning. Kiran Bhardwaj, DD News.
Well, moving on, in Germany, a special army program has been organized to train service dogs to identify the COVID-19 people by using the people's saliva. Service dogs can sniff out biochemical changes in body fluids caused by the virus. A French veterinary team is also training dogs to sniff out COVID-19 sufferers from the smell of their sweat. Meanwhile, health ministries from Germany state have agreed to roll out free coronavirus testing at airports for travelers returning from high-risk countries. Tests will be offered within 72 hours of their arrival. People who do not take the test will be required to complete the 2-week quarantine as before. Those with the negative test result will not have to quarantine. Germany has registered over 2 lakh COVID-19 cases with more than 9,000 deaths. Let's now take a look at the updates on COVID-19 from across the world. So far, more than 6.43 lakh people have died globally. That's 6,43,000 people have died globally due to the virus. While if you look at the world numbers, when it comes to the positive rate of infection, that stands at 1,59 lakhs. The United States is the worst affected with 42 lakhs and 48,000 cases there, along followed by Brazil, that's got 23 lakhs and 48,000 infections. The biggest problem that these two countries face is also the rate of fatalities that's pretty high. In America, the fatalities rate stands at 1,48,000, while Brazil trails behind the United States with the death toll crossing 85,000 there in the South American nation. Meanwhile, United Kingdom ranks third in terms of death toll with more than 45,000 fatalities, followed by Mexico and Italy. In other news, the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement has announced new guidelines on Friday for foreign students. According to the guidelines, new international college students will not be allowed to come to the United States this fall if their courses are only online. The rules apply to non-immigrant students in new or initial status after March 9th under the Student and Exchange Visitor Program. Students from abroad who had enrolled in spring classes and already had student visas may remain in the country or come back after summer vacation, even if the university is offering only digital classes. Some universities, including Harvard and the University of Southern California, had already told their first-year international students they would be unable to come to the US during the fall due to the ICE policy. They encourage these students to start online or defer the beginning of their studies courses. On to sports, the 2020-21 Premier League and English Football League seasons will start on the 12th of September. In the top flight, the campaign will end on 23rd of May, while the Championship League 1 and League 2 seasons will culminate on the 8th and 9th of May. Next season's playoff finals will take place on the final weekend in May. The current Premier League season will end on Sunday, and after it was suspended for 3 months due to COVID-19 pandemic, the regular championship season concluded on Wednesday with the playoffs finishing on the 4th of August. Well, that's all we have time for in this edition of news, but remember to follow social distancing norms and also to wash your hands every 20 minutes with soap or sanitizer. That's all. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Take care.